be on the Tumbler Doctor and Glitznblingboutique coming soon. If you read by the title, today's video we're going to be doing a Jack Skellington Halloween Tumbler. Okay, and this is using temporary tattoos that I got off of Amazon. I will put my Amazon storefront in there so you can go and find them. They come in half sleeve, they come in whole sleeve. This one is, I think this tumbler is like a, maybe like a, I don't know if this is a 16-ounce tumbler or a 18.5 ounce tumbler, but I got the half a sleeve, and I'll show you what I did to achieve this look in the video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright y'all, so I forgot to record. I thought I was recording the process of me spray painting it, but to put it in a nutshell, I spray painted it black, let that sit, then I spray painted the white over it, and then I did another real light coating, and then I sanded it a little bit so you can see the black. I don't really know how I got this look. It kind of was by luck, but I really liked it because it matched the theme perfectly. So yeah, that's what I did to get the look. The tattoo paper is a half sleeve, like I said, but the tumbler is not long enough for the half sleeve, so what I had to do was cut it in half and kind of measure it the opposite way to see how it will look, to see how I would maneuver it. So that's how it should have looked, but in the next couple of slides you'll see that there was a little mishap. So basically what I did was I trimmed around the edges of the tattoo paper to get as close to the image as I possibly could, and then once I did that, I simply peeled off the clear piece of paper that was on it and wet my tumbler down so that the tattoo paper would adhere, or the tattoo itself would adhere to the tumbler, and it would not move once I start the process of applying it on. So I simply just lined it up because I wanted that black to hit that moon to give me that look that you see at nighttime. So I lined it up the best way I could. The paper is white, so it's not like traditional transfer tape where you can see what you're lining up, so you kind of just gotta eyeball it. And then I held it down on one side while I started wetting it, and the only thing I'm using wetting it is a super wet paper towel that I literally got out the sink. Make sure you don't have any lumps or bumps in there. The good thing about this tattoo transfer paper, or this tattoo paper, is that it's easy to fix. When you have like little lines or little bumps in there, it really kind of doesn't bother it as much, and I'll show you that once I do the bottom of this tumbler. So yeah, I'm just going through making sure everything is wet, so when I go to pull it off, like when we was kids, you know, we're not leaving tattoo on the paper and we're actually putting it on the tumbler, because that has happened to me as a child. When I pull up the tattoo paper, the whole tattoo comes up. So I'm just gonna slowly really gently pull this to make sure that I'm not pulling off the tattoo paper, or the tattoo with the paper, and boom, that's how it is. Now this, as you can see the little black bumps in there, I really like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so as you can see, that's the half. Now this half I measured to make sure that it would go right, even though it's the wrong way, but it's okay. I just kind of try to get a feel for it. So what I did was I lined it up like it was supposed to be, but it did not come out that way. So in this process, I would suggest overlapping, and you will see that as I go through this video that I should have overlapped this a little bit better, because there was pieces that wasn't cut that was in the image. So instead of me lining it up perfectly like I did, I should have lined it up with the overlap. And like I said, you'll see that process in a minute. So I'm doing the same thing as I did with the top, but it's an overlap, and I'm sorry you guys cannot see it, but it's an overlap at the bottom, because like I said, this tattoo was bigger than my tumbler, so I had to overlap that the best way I could. But like I said, the good thing about this transfer paper, this tattoo paper, is the lumps and bumps isn't gonna really matter because it's cute still. So I'm just gonna go over that the best way I can. And as you can see, I got that rugged bottom. That was the look I was really going for, and it happened by accident. But I'm gonna try to achieve that rugged look again. So yeah, just going through it, and then I'm going to show you how I fix the bottom, because right now I know it's looking a little crazy. So I start lifting it up, and as you can see, it's a little flippy piece right here. Now you can either cut it, or you can simply just wet it and fold it, because that's what I did for the most part for a lot of these pieces. I just literally wet it and folded it, and because it's tattoo paper, it's gonna fold down and it's gonna stick and it's gonna adhere. So that's all I did for the bottom. And as you can see from this image, I have a bit of a little slit right there where the images didn't line up because I did not overlap it. So I tried pushing it. That didn't work, so I knew that was going to require a little bit more work on my part to cover that up, because it wasn't noticeable with just the one, but once I added the other ones, it was very much so noticeable. So yeah, I had to do what I had to do. So this is the part of the video where you're probably gonna see me struggle a little bit with the design, because I had fabric. I wanted to put the fabric on there, but then I couldn't decide. This is the fabric. I think I got this from Joann's for like $179. It's like a quarter. I want to say a quarter size, but I'm not sure. But I struggled off camera because I didn't know if I wanted to keep it on, take it off, what was the case. So, and I also don't edit my videos, so feel free to skip this part if you would like. I'm not gonna hold you here for it. But yeah, off camera I was just really torn because I wanted to use the fabric, but the fabric didn't really go with the design of the tumbler. So I had to make a decision, and that decision was to let the fabric go and continue with the tattoo design, which looked the best, and I'm glad I decided to go with that. So I tried it on the bottom. That didn't work. So then I said, well, let me see what it looked like with the half and half. Did the half and half. That didn't work. So at this point, yeah, we're just gonna go with the tattoos, because as you can see his face, that's how I was looking like, oh no. So feel free to skip this part until we continue with the tumbler. Okay, so after minutes of anticipation and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I decided, like I said, to just go along with the same tattoo design around the cup, which I'm so happy that I did. Now at this point, I'm just looking to see how I want to do this and how I'm going to do this, and so that way that it's all like matching and stuff like that. So off camera, I'm cutting it in half, doing the same thing I did with the first one, trimming around the edges to make sure that I'm getting more of the image on the tumbler and not the excess. So I'm sorry I did not get this on camera, but the struggle is real, because at this point I was just like fluttered and all over the place. So that's why I decided to do the voiceover, because listening to me talk about this was just terrible. So as you can see, the other piece is a lot trimmer or thinner than the other piece. Now I always do that before I flip it over, because like I said, you have to eyeball this because you can't see it. Remove that plastic paper that's covering it to protect it, and just simply overlap. So all I did was did the same thing, and I overlapped, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna have like gaps in this tumbler, and that's okay, because we're gonna go in and we're gonna fix that in a little while. So simply repeating the same steps that I did for the first one, where I hold it and then I wet it and then I make sure that it's adhering good before I pull it off. And I'm sorry for being off camera so much, but a lot of times, depending on how I'm sitting and how the lighting is, I have to be able to see, because not only am I doing this video for you guys, but I'm also doing this for a customer. So I need it to be as perfect as possible, so that way they like it and my work isn't looking crazy. So go in, and one thing about this paper is it's easy to pull off, but at first it was a little bit hard. And now you can see the spooky in the thing, so you can see the white gaps, because like I said, this is my first time doing it, and it's fine. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it, okay? We're gonna fix it. Like Bob the Builder, we're gonna fix it. So literally just pointing out the spots that I know I'm gonna have to do some extra work with, making sure that I'm not touching or pulling anything up, because it is sticky. So I don't want to pull anything up to make my process more harder. So I'm literally gonna do the same thing at the bottom, line it up as best as I can, and I also trim the bottom a lot more than I did with the first one, just so that they can match and have that same like overlapping, but you know, flawless even thing, because I did not want another line, because at this point I was still trying to figure out in my head how was I gonna fix the line without messing up the design. So yeah, I'm just gonna take that part, I'm just gonna take that part, overlap it, and as you can see, the paper is overlapping this time, because I needed that flawless look, you know, because I didn't want another line. So doing the same thing, this time I'm applying a little bit more pressure, because like I said, it's overlapping. So at this point, I don't know if the tattoo paper is gonna adhere to the other part of the tattoo, so I just want to make sure that I'm doing this right and getting it. So on this part of the video, you can actually see that I am only going to the parts that is on the tumbler. So then I fold it over. It does not matter with this particular design how you fold it, because it's gonna look perfect regardless of how you fold it, because again, it's the bottom of the cup. The designs usually are a bit different than the actual tumbler itself, because it's the bottom. So I'm just gonna fold it over like I did and smooth it down with the wet paper towel to make sure that it is adhering to the bottom. And I really like the bottom of this cup because it's very, very rugged, and that was like the look that I was really going for, so I appreciate it. And then I'm just eyeing it out the camera to make sure it's straight. So as you can see, it's a lot of folds and stuff like that in there, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting it on, because as I'm pulling, I can see that part of that is still, or was still, on the paper. So now, guys, look, can you tell with the overlapping that there is no line? There is no fine white line. So I am so excited, and the bottom is looking flawless, and now I'm just checking to make sure there's no lines. And like when I tell you I zoomed in on that thing, because I was like, man, this is just ridiculous. But you can't even tell it's been cut, which is amazing. So I think this took about 3 tattoo papers for the half. This side was a bit more tricky because there was more room at the top but less room at the bottom. So it took a little bit more effort on my part to make sure that this was flawless and make sure I got everything where I needed to be. Yeah. So at this point, I'm just gonna take the tattoo and try to place it as best as I can between the two. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some spacing in between either one of these two or both of these two, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, this tumbler will take a little bit more work as far as making sure that it has that even flawless finish that also looks like Halloween night or like nightfall or nighttime. Now, the good thing about this tattoo paper, and I'm just showing you the trim right here, that I had to trim it a little bit more each time as I go. But the good thing about this tattoo paper is, one, like I said, it's easy to apply. It just takes a little bit of work and practice. This tumbler, if I had everything I needed at the time, because there was a lot of pausing to go get this or go do this, would have probably took me no more than about 10 minutes to do from start to finish, as far as like applying the decal or the tattoo and getting the look that I wanted. Now, this video took a little bit more time because, again, I had to pause and keep going because I wasn't really sure where I was going with this video. And that's the good thing about being creative and, you know, doing tumblers and crafts and stuff like that, because you never know which way you're gonna go. You might start off with one idea, and then once you start doing it and you see it, you can then, like, you know, take it to wherever you want it to go, as long as it makes sense and it looks right. So that's pretty much what I did. Still doing the same thing, applying it. Now, this one overlapped over this one a whole lot, but again, I'm just eyeballing. You have to pretty much eyeball because it's hard to see. It's hard to see because the paper is white until you paint it. So that, I'm okay with that, even though the thing went into the ghost, but it's okay because some ghosts are see-through. Casper, just saying. And then over here, it was fine. It turned out perfect. I was worried for nothing. Now the bottom is what I'm worried about. And also, let me tell you guys this, everything that I've used, I'm gonna like I said, attach my Amazon storefront, so you guys can just go ahead and go on there, click what you need, get what you need, and everything in this video, except for the paint brushes and the foam sponge brushes, I got off of Amazon. The foam sponge brushes I got from Dollar Tree, that you'll see later on in the video, as well as the brush I got from Amazon, that you'll see later on in the video. The mica powder got from Amazon. The alcohol ink got from Amazon. All that. So yeah, everything in this tumbler. I do have a bring your own tumbler for local people only. And the tumbler has to be brand new, not used or anything like that. So with my customer, she requested that she wanted to do the bring your own tumbler. And I only do it for tumblers simply because for cold cups it requires a little bit more knowledge as far as what can be used on them and what can't. So I only do this with tumblers. So if they're local, if it's a local customer, then as long as they have a tumbler that hasn't been used for safety reasons and contamination purposes, that's the only ones I use. So in this particular case, she had a Yeti. So I do not sell Yetis because Yetis are expensive and I don't want to jack up the price for these. So same thing at the bottom, same concept. I'm not going to talk anymore into the next step. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the video. Hold that over. Okay, you guys, So this is the little flippity flap I was talking about with this tattoo paper. So you can do one or two things. You can cut it and hope that, you know, you didn't cut too much, or you could just simply wet it and fold it down. If the tattoo paper is wet enough, you can simply just fold it down. But I think in this particular case, all I did was just fold it down really good, and then I wet it to make sure that, you know, it would adhere and it would stick. So good thing about that is it's easy to work with. Now, had that been vinyl, we would have had a whole issue, and we would have had to go like almost a square 2, 3, 4 just to fix it. But this tattoo paper is perfect. So at this time, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm seeing what all I got to do. And then I noticed that, you know, the little gap I was talking about, gonna have to fix that. So yeah, we're gonna see how I fix that. Okay, so while we're staring at the inside of this cup, what I did was, off camera, I went outside and I mixed alcohol ink up with some mica powder. I think that mica powder that I used was like a black, and it does have a little shimmer in it, so it wasn't too much. And then I started doing this because I just wanted to see like a little splash to see what it would look like. And I actually started with the paintbrush, and I did a whole lot with the paintbrush, and then I realized that I did not like the paintbrush because it was giving me too much of a perfect but different kind of look, and that wasn't what I was going for. And also, I did not add any epoxy in this or water or anything. It's just straight alcohol ink and mica powder. So yeah, this brush was not giving me what I wanted. So then I had this little light bulb idea. Well, why don't you try a foam brush? I'm pretty sure you could have did it with like a makeup applicator sponge brush as well, or yeah, like one of those little like under the eye things, like in the diamond shape. I don't know what they're called. But the look that I wanted, I needed that spongy look. I didn't need the whole look, because the thing about the foam brush is it has the little sponges, like SpongeBob SquarePants, that you could actually get like a bubble effect, or you don't have that whole effect. Now the brush was giving me like stormy night type of look, but that wasn't the look I was going for. I was going for a more cloudy look. So at this point, I put the brush down because I wanted to try the thing, and I struggled because I didn't want to cut my brush if I wasn't going to use it, because I could simply just wash it out, stick it in some alcohol, and fix it. And then when I seen that, oh, I was like, this is giving me that Halloween night that I'm looking for. This is giving me that Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas look I'm looking for. Even though this is not Christmas, this is simply Halloween that I'm doing because it's Halloween season. Okay. So yeah, this was giving me that look that I wanted, and then plus it was perfect around the edges. Like, y'all check those edges. Like, that brush, I probably would have been brushing them doggone edges more than I brush my own edges on my hair. So yeah, that's what I did for that part. So simply just going in there with the brush, or with the foam brush, and eventually I'm gonna end up cutting it when I get to those like little tedious spots. And at this time, I am cutting that brush so that I can have a little piece of it so I can use it. And as y'all see that little piece right there, y'all see the little piece right there changed my life. And I got the bottom where the little white part was, because again, I wanted that black to seep through, and I feel like that white just was like too obvious that it wasn't supposed to be there. So I'm just going in, especially with this little line part right here. I'm sorry you guys can't see it, but I'm just going in with that line part, and I'm gonna show y'all hopefully in a minute. I really had to focus and zoom in because I wanted to make sure that kind of was as flawless as it could be, which it did not look bad at all once I took a step back and looked at it. You barely could really tell that it was there. So that was that. I don't think I'm gonna show you guys. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Not sure. But let's watch me pat off camera. All right, you guys, so we are entering into the end of this video. I'm not going to talk anymore after this. If you guys tried this, leave it in the comment section and let me know. If you guys like this video, let me know, and please like my video. Subscribe if you like my content. I'm going to start uploading every Tuesday and Saturday, and maybe an extra day in between, some type of way. I also have Patreon, so make sure you guys check out my Patreon link, or check out my Linktree link. For my first 5 patrons for each tier, I will be giving away free gifts, so make sure that you're one of the first 5 people, so that way you can get you a free gift. I'm gonna clean this up off camera. I doubt I'm gonna come back, but I'm also gonna show you guys this tumbler turning in a separate clip. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, the Tumbler dr_. Follow me on TikTok, the Tumbler Doctor spelled out. And let's connect, let's have fun. Let me know what y'all think about it. Bye.